If you're still betting on sports the traditional way in 2026, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You're playing a rigged game. Sportsbooks will limit you or ban you the second you start winning consistently, and I've been in this space for years, and the single biggest shift I've seen, bigger than analytics, bigger than line shopping, is prediction markets, specifically Polymarket. And once I show you exactly what's possible here, you're never gonna look at a sportsbook the same way. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what prediction markets are, how trading on sports is fundamentally different from betting, and how complete beginners are already using this to get an edge that the sports books literally cannot take away from you. So what is a prediction market? Let's start from zero, because I know some of you heard the term prediction market thrown around, but you have no idea what it actually means. A prediction market is a platform where people buy and sell shares in the outcome of real world events. Sports, politics, economics, anything with a yes or no outcome. The most important one right now, and the one we're gonna focus on, is Polymarket. So here's the simplest way to think about: the Chiefs are playing the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And on a sports book, you bet $100 on the Chiefs to win. You either win or lose. That's it. The book sets the line, you take it or leave it, and if you win too much, they boot you. On Polymarket, instead of placing a bet, you're buying shares. If the market says the Chiefs have a 60% chance of winning, shares are trading at 60 cents. If you think they're actually closer to 75%, you buy shares at 60 cents. If you're right that the Chiefs win, those shares pay out at $1. You just made 40 cents on every share you bought. That's not gambling, that's trading. Now, side note, if this is too complicated for you, you can always replace the lines for the US odds just like a regular sports book. And here's the part that changes everything. You don't even have to wait for the game to end. If the Chiefs go up 21-0 in the first quarter and their shares jump to 88 cents, you can sell right there and lock in your profit. Sound familiar? It should. It's exactly how the stock market works. You're not betting on sports anymore, you are trading them. Let me tell you why it matters so much for people who actually want to make money. Traditional sportsbooks have three massive problems. Number one, every single bet you make, the book is taking somewhere between 4 to 10% off the top just for existing. That means before the game even starts, you're already in a hole. You have to be significantly better than 50-50 just to break even. That's pretty brutal. Number two, limits. The second you start winning consistently on a sportsbook, they cut your limits. I've talked to sharp bettors who can't get more than $50 down on a game because the books know they have an edge. You're literally being punished for being good. Number three, no exit. Once your bet is placed, it's locked in. Doesn't matter if the star player tears his AC on the warm-ups, your money is stuck. Prediction market solves all three of these problems. On Polymarket, the market sets the price based on what everyone believes collectively. There's no eating into your edge on every single trade. Nobody is going to limit your account because you're too sharp. In fact, the sharper you are, the more the market needs you because you're adding real information. And since you're trading shares, you can exit your position at any point before the event resolves. Players get hurt, sell immediately. Weather turns bad, sell immediately. This game is going completely differently than you expected. Manage it in real time like a trader. This is why I genuinely believe that people who are serious about sports and serious about having an edge, prediction markets are the single best opportunity right now that's available. So how does Polymarket actually work? All right, let's get practical. Here's how you actually get started on Polymarket. The good news is that getting set up is generally simple. Polymarket accepts regular US dollars, so there's no crypto barrier standing between you and your first trade. You fund your account and you're in. That's it. Once you're inside the platform, you'll see the market listed with a current probability. Let's walk through a real example of how to think about this. You see a market. Will Team X win the NBA championship? It's currently sitting at 22%. Ask yourself, do I think the number is too low or too high? If you've done your research and you genuinely believe they have a 35% chance, that's a mispriced market. You buy shares at 22 cents. If you're right, pay you out at $1. That's your edge. That's the trade. Now, the most important skill you can develop here isn't even picking winners. It's identifying when a market is mispriced. And this is where sports knowledge becomes your actual competitive advantage. Most people on these platforms are not deep sports analysts. They're casual observers. So if you understand injury, reports, scheduling, matchup, situational football, rest advantages, all that stuff that is serious bettors already know, you are going to spot the mispricings that the average person on Polymarket completely misses. Your sports knowledge is the edge. The platform just gives you a fair price to use it. Here's where I want you to shift your mindset. This is the part where most people skip, and it's the most important. Stop thinking like a bettor, start thinking like a trader. A bettor picks a side and hopes. A trader manages a position. Those are completely different mentalities, and they produce completely different results. When you're trading on sports, you want to think in terms of expected value and portfolio management. You're not trying to hit a parlay. You're trying to find markets where your probability estimate is consistently better than what the crowd believes and capitalize on that edge over a large sample of trades. Think of it this way. A good poker player doesn't win every hand. They make correct decisions over and over again, and the math takes care of the rest. Trading on prediction markets works exactly the same way. You need to be 70% right of the time. You need to be right more often than the market implies and do it consistently. The other thing I want you to understand is position sizing. This is huge. Don't put your entire bankroll on one market because you feel good about it. Treat your Polymarket account like an actual trading account. Diversify across multiple markets, keep individual positions small relative to your total capital, and let the edge compound over time. This is how people winning on these platforms are actually doing. Not by getting lucky by, one big trade, but by being disciplined, systematic, and treating it like a skill-based activity it actually is. Okay, this is where most beginners go wrong. I want to save you from the mistakes I see people make constantly when they first get into this. Mistake number one, treating it exactly like sports betting. I just spent the last few minutes telling you why prediction markets are different. And the number one thing beginners do is log on and immediately start thinking in terms of who do I think is going to win? That's not a question. The question is always, is the market wrong? Ask yourself that, and by how much? Those are the two completely different questions. Mistake number two, ignoring liquidity. Not all markets on Polymarket are created equal. Some markets have tons of volume and tight spreads. Others are thin, meaning the price can move dramatically on a small amount of money, and it can be hard to exit your position at a fair price. As a beginner, stick to high liquidity markets, the major leagues, the big events. Don't go hunting in obscure corners on the platform until you really understand how this works. Mistake number three, no bankroll management whatsoever. This goes back to what I said earlier. Treat it like a trading account, not a casino. Set a starting bankroll, define your position sizing rules before you make a single trade, and stick to them. The people who blow up on prediction markets almost always do it because they sized way too large on something they were sure about. Mistake number four, not tracking your results. You need to know your edge. Keep a record of every trade you make, what probability you thought was correct versus what the market had and what the outcome was. Over time, this data is going to tell you exactly where your edge is strongest and where you're fooling yourself. I'm gonna be completely straight with you. This space is early. Prediction markets on sports are genuinely in the early adopter phase right now, which means the opportunities are real. The mispricings are real. And the edge for someone who actually understands sports is very real. But just like anything worth doing, there's a learning curve. And the people who take the time to actually understand the mechanics, develop a process, and manage their bankroll correctly are the ones who are going to win here. That's exactly why I put together a community of people who want to do this the right way. Inside, we break down markets together in real time. We walk through positioning, expected value, and where we're seeing the biggest edges right now, we hold each other accountable on bankroll management, and we share the research and analysis that moves the needle, not just the vibes and hot takes. So if you're serious about getting an actual edge, using prediction markets in 2026, the link to join is in the description. Come in, introduce yourself, and let's build something great together. If you got value from this video, hit subscribe because there's a lot more that's coming. This is just the beginning.